Uniform Civil Code, which we have been discussing with the course of several discussions today. This is a question of a great debate amongst the people of the nation. The provision of a uniform civil code for governance of the country is a directive principle of the Constitution enshrined in Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy. The idea in itself is not a new one, but it finds its roots in what could possibly the Uniform Civil Code then truly mean. Will it be closer to that enacted recently by the state of Uttarakhand? Will individual states be given the onus to implement such a code within their territories, or will an overarching central framework dictate to all the citizens of the Republic of India? We will be discussing all of this and more in the next half hour as we take or attempt to take a deep dive into the Uniform Civil Code, which has once again been promised by the Home Minister of the country. He says that if the BJP is back in power, or rather, in his words, when the BJP is back in power, Uniform Civil Code will be the next big promise that the Bharatiya Janata Party will deliver on. Taking this conversation forward with me is Sumit Peer, political analyst. I also have with me Kapil Sankla, lawyer, Advocate Murari Tiwari, former chairman of the Bar Council, also with us. And we have Dr. M.J. Khan, president of IMPAR, also with us on the broadcast. Let me take this conversation. Let me begin with Dr. M.J. Khan, bringing you into the conversation. I just want to understand from you, if the government of the day is to take a conversation on UCC forward, what do you think are the steps, or what do you think they need to be careful about in terms of having that conversation so as to not send out some sort of an alarming or a panic situation across certain communities, because we've seen that happen in the past with certain bills and certain laws that were passed. For example, CAA. We saw that there was a lot of fear-mongering that happened with CAA. So many Muslims were told that you will not be able to get citizenship of India, or that you will be thrown out of India. None of that is true. None of that has happened. CAA was for a specific purpose, and that purpose will hopefully be solved in the future as well. Similarly, for a UCC, there is a lot of fear-mongering that could possibly take place, where people of certain communities are told that your religion will be specifically targeted, your culture, your traditions, all of it will be targeted and will be taken away from you, which is simply not the case, as has been explained by our legal experts as well. So, coming to the actual question, what do you think the government that needs to do of the day to ensure that a positive and a constructive conversation on UCC can happen?
Thank you very much. In fact, the first thing government can do is large-scale communication preceding the implementation, because any major law to be brought in, people have to be prepared for that, so that they accept it. There are no misgivings, there are no rumors spread. So first thing to be done is the correct communication and massive level communication preceding any kind of action on that. Second is the agenda, that what all is to be included, that must also be circulated so that people are prepared in case there is misunderstanding, there are apprehensions and there are rumors, so that can be set to rest by clarification on that. So debating is the second part. Once the agenda is circulated, then there should be thorough debating. There cannot be two opinions that country needs a uniform civil code, but the articles of faith, the matters of faith, where the communities feel that because of the religion, this has to be, for example, everything cannot be same. If Muslims go for nikah and Hindus go for 7 feras, so that probably, I think, any civil law, this can be respected, because this does not come in the way of national development. So anything which is good for the nation, good for the society, is to be respected, but anything which is the practice and from the religion, and that's a strong belief is there that it is part of our religion. So if national interests are not going to be affected by that, I think that should be allowed, that kind of diversity, because we as a nation are enjoying the dividends of the diversity. So we should have that much scope for giving that freedom. We cannot have, after all, we are democracy and we are a very diverse society. So that much scope must be there. About CAA, there is still apprehension. There is still, Muslim communities under fear that someday this law can be, implemented in a way that it actually throws many of us, out of citizenship. So that fear is there, and this is because people feel that certain provisions that it contains should not have been there. For example, if two persons are found without proper documents, one happens to be Hindu, one happens to be the Muslim, Hindu will get qualified under the provision that was brought in subsequently, and the Muslim will go to the jail even if he is living here for 500 years. And this has happened in the Assam. I can quote 3 examples. The grandsons of the former president of India, they had to spend time in the jail. The retired major of the army who served 14 years, he had to be in the jail. So such people can be thrown if the police at the lower level decides to misuse the law. There's a plenty of that. So that is the risk fear people are carrying. So in the UCC, I think we should make effort, the government should make effort, all of us, that this kind of misgivings or if there is anything wrong, that must be addressed.
Okay, thank all of our panelists for joining us to take this conversation forward. That's all the time that we have.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.